Hello beautiful people, hello beautiful world, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashlee Renise, if you're new, the millennial life coach, and it's a part of my purpose to help other ambitious millennials like yourself unlock your full potential and teach you how to live in that full potential. And a huge piece of that puzzle to unlocking your full potential is reading. Reading is such a really good way to get into the minds of other successful people, whether they're people who you want to be like or people you don't want to be like. It can kind of teach you, what are some of the things that they went through, or what were some of the mindset shifts that they had to have, what are some of the experiences that they had to have to help them get where they are today. So speaking of reading, if you cannot tell, this video will be about books, and what we're going to do is delve into my top 5 books for personal development. Trust me, they won't be a lot like what you're seeing out there, those regular books, but these are books that I think that every single person should read at least once to really help to shift your perspective and broaden your horizons. So with that being said, let's go. Now, these are in no particular order, okay, but I will end with the top book that you should get like today. But my first book that I'll be talking about is Becoming by Michelle Obama. Now, I think it was 2019. This book was all over, everyone was reading it, and for good reason. I believe this is a great book to really open up your eyes. Most books are great books to open up your eyes, but I just think the way she tells her story, the struggles that she had to go through, the perseverance, that she had to have in order to get to where she got to, and the intentional decision making that she did and, that came out in this book, absolutely superb. My main lesson that I got from reading Becoming by Michelle Obama is, we have to be intentional with every single decision we make. And this is not just in your professional life and not just in, you becoming the best, whatever your profession is in the world, right? It's also about, in your personal life, because she talks about how she had to make an intentional decision to have a date night every single Friday with President Barack Obama. And it's just things like that. It really brought home to me that, wow, I have to be intentional with every single decision I make. We have to be intentional with every single decision we make, because every decision that we make is either bringing us closer to the person that we want to be, to unlocking our full potential and living in that full potential, or it's bringing us further away. We're never stagnant. Either we're moving towards it or we're moving away. So this is definitely a must read for personal development if you want to really see the fruits of intentional decision making. Now we are on to book number 2. So this book, Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. OM to the G. I'm not gonna lie, I really underestimated this book when I read it with my book read on Instagram. By the way, if you aren't following me on Instagram, what are you doing with your life? It's at Ashlee Renise. Thanks. So I really underestimated this book, right? It was suggested by someone who I really trust. So she suggested it and I'm like, okay, if she suggested it, it has to be a good book. And that's why I gave it a shot. But I wasn't expecting to get the revelation that I got from this book. And the main lesson that I took away from this book is we have a choice in every single thing. Right? We have a choice in whether we choose to continue to go down that spiral of negative thinking and, in turn, negative actions, or we can choose to stop and we can choose to say, you know what? No, I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to delight in what God has done for me. I'm choosing to, live the life that I want to live. I'm choosing to be grateful. I'm choosing to be intentional. I'm choosing community and connecting with others. Of all the books that I've read on conquering negativity and overcoming it, I really think that the lessons that are taught in this book and the way she speaks about it, the way she speaks about stopping that spiral, it's like it's not you overcoming the spiral, it's you literally choosing to stop the spiral right here. So if you are struggling with negativity and going down that negativity spiral, you definitely need to grab this book. And even if you aren't struggling, like, things happen and there may be a day where you're going down a negativity spiral, and because you didn't read the book, you don't know what to do. So I would definitely say to go ahead and pick up this book. Okay, maybe I lied. I'm probably doing them in my order of like must reads. Because I'm looking now and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this is in order actually. So my third book that I believe is a must read for every single person who, you know, you're on your journey to unlocking your full potential. You want to become the best that you can be. This book right here, Mastery by George Leonard. The Keys to Success and Long-Term Fulfillment. This is a really tiny book, but it's packed with information and packed with so many mindset shifts and perspective shifts. And the main lesson, why did I say main? And the main lesson that I learned from this book is that we have to find peace, joy, and fulfillment in just the practice of doing something. If you want to become a master, you are on your road to mastery in whatever it is that you're choosing to master in, we have to really find that joy in just doing it and recognize that even when we don't see those end results, or we don't see the accolades, and we don't see persons praising us, that there is change happening. Even if we show up every day and we're still not hitting the ball the way we want to hit it, we're still not getting the results that we want to get, we're still not reaching the people that we want to reach, just that showing up every single day and repeating those actions that we know will bring us to that end point, just in that alone, there is change happening. So this book really helped to shift my focus from, you know, the end result to really recognizing that success is not in the end result. Success is in the process. Success is in the practice. Success is in me just showing up every week with a YouTube video because I enjoy doing it, and not so much being focused on the subscribers and the likes and the comments. It's just in the doing. So definitely pick up this book. Huge mindset shifts, and you know, with all the books that I'm mentioning, there are so many more lessons, but I'm just touching on the lesson that really drove home for me. All right, we're coming down nicely. So now we're at book number 4, and book number 4 for me is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Listen, I first read this book I think it was last year summer, and when I read it, it was just mind-blowing. Now I know you hear it all the time, we are what we think about, you know, all those things. The mind has super control over who we become, the things that we do, all of that, right? But this book really gets into the detail of how to use our minds to get to where we want to get to. And it's not this hunky-dory, as soon as I think it'll show up like magic. No, this teaches you that just by shifting your mindset, you end up shifting your actions. Just by feeding your mind positive things, feeding your mind and focusing on the things that you actually want to accomplish allows you to accomplish them. But it's not through magic. It's through thinking that you deserve it, thinking that it is possible, thinking. And then what happens is, it's a spiral, but an upward spiral, not a downward spiral. Hello. What happens is you start to believe that, yeah, I do deserve this. This is for me. And you start going and going and going until you start doing the things, you know, that a person who deserves this outcome would do. My biggest takeaway from this, and I will never ever forget it, is there was a chapter and he said, your mind is like a garden. And I have carried that with me since I've read this book. I've carried it with me to this day. Okay, your mind is like a garden. I will never forget that phrase, because if you think about it, if you put in pumpkin seeds, you are gonna get a pumpkin. If you put in apple seeds, you're gonna get an apple tree. You put in mango seeds, what are you gonna get? Mangoes. So think of your mind the same way. If I put in junk, am I gonna get this amazing masterpiece? No, we're gonna get out junk. So I've always kind of kept that, and that is what has helped me to develop better habits, because I'm like, okay, as soon as I get up, I need to feed my mind with positive things. Also, before we move on from this book, there's this poem at the beginning of the book that I need to read. I need you to hear this. Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes. The tool of thought and shaping what he wills brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you a bonus, a bonus thing that I learned from As a Man Thinketh. Or we are the persons who determine our circumstances. It's a very hard pill to swallow, but if you are in a circumstance right now that you do not enjoy, you are not happy, the only person to blame is you. But guess what? That means you have the power to change it. So that's another huge thing that I got from the book. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't gonna do no more. But go ahead, pick up this book. This is definitely like number 2 on the list for books that you have to read, like today, right now. Go, click the link, buy the book, just start reading it. Jeez, what are you waiting on? All right, we are now on book number 5, aka book number 1 that you should get. All right, and it is none other than The Big Leap by Mr. Gay Hendricks himself. Now, I remember I used to see this book on my aunt's, like she had a little table in her room, and I used to see it there all the time. And I saw the little fish jumping on, and I'm like, that looks like a fun book. Not knowing that years later, this is a book that would change my life. And I was introduced to this book officially through Kev on Stage. If y'all don't follow him, what are you doing? He's hilarious. But anywho, the huge thing that I got from this book was just like how much power and how much control we have over good things happening in our lives. But it also taught me how deep self-sabotage runs and how much we can like overlook how much we're self-sabotaging. Crazy. Okay, so this book really kind of talks about, you know, what is your capacity to feel good things? What is your capacity to feel love, to feel abundance, to be in your creativity, to live out your zone of genius? And if you want to know what that means, go ahead, read the book. I promise you, you will not regret it. This is my number 1 book. If you are looking to really level up your life, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like, I need to get to the next level. What is stopping me? Let me tell you, it's you. But it's not in the way that you think. It's not in because you're not doing the things and you're not talking to the people and you're not staying consistent. It's in that capacity to feel good things. That is what is stopping you. But I can't delve and tell you every single thing in this book because there's so much. It's packed with just so much good things. But I'm telling you, this book was a game changer for me. This book is what really allowed me to really think about it and be like, I need to take that leap into my zone of genius. And that is kind of like, that is actually how I started to coach, because I realized that this is what I love to do. This is what I do naturally. This is what comes to me, and I can do it uniquely in my way, and it brings transformation and change in other people's lives. And that's when I recognized that I need to stop doing these mediocre tasks that have nothing to do with my zone of genius and take that big leap into my zone of genius. But as I said, my huge takeaway from this is that we have to allow ourselves to feel good things in order to stop the cycle of self-sabotage. So this is definitely my number one book that I think that you should pick up. And you know, I would say, here's what I would say. Oh jeez. I thought it was gonna fall. Here's what I would say. Get As A Man Thinketh and read this first, because this kind of lays the foundation to the power of the mind, how we think and things like that. And then immediately get The Big Leap. These two, dynamic duo for life-changing personal growth and unlocking your full potential and learning to live in it. Dynamic duo. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Those are my top 5 books for exponential personal growth, unlocking your full potential and learning to live in it. You definitely need to get those books. Go and get them, read them, and I promise you, your thinking and ultimately your life will change. All right, you guys, so thank you so much for watching. I absolutely appreciate your time. I do not take it for granted. Go ahead, like, subscribe if you want more of this content, and comment down below, what is your number 1 life-changing book that you have read? Even if I mentioned it, you can go ahead and comment down below. I want to know. All right, guys, see you next week. Bye.